Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Mike Plays RP1. This is the series where I'm working my way through the programs and contracts of the RP1 mod pack and doing my best to get through them in a reasonably efficient way. And at the conclusion of the last episode, I got started with building a U2 style high altitude reconnaissance jet, and that was all in service of this contract here, X-Planes Stratospheric Research, which is to get to and maintain an altitude of 22 kilometers. So I got to get above 22 kilometers in altitude, speed less than 300 meters per second, emphasis on the less, hence the very big wings. And pretty much a level flight here. The climb rate has to be close to 0, and I gotta hold that for 5 minutes. And so this is my attempt to see if I can build a jet in order to accomplish that. And if you would like to take a look at that episode, in case you missed it, there's a link coming up here to the top right that you can click on. But basically, I'm gonna get started pretty much where I left off with working on this jet and trying to finish it off. Now, there is other things going on. I do have a Jet 57 fighter jet that's in the process of being recovered. It's going to take a little bit more than a day for it to be recovered, and that is in service of, I hope, this high-speed supersonic, which is to maintain a speed of over 700 meters per second, or between 700 meters per second and 725. Again, level flight, and hold that for 3 minutes. So again, hopefully we can get that one done. I also have being modified the X3 also last episode, and got started the Bell X4, which has a more powerful engine on it, as well as RCS, because it's the mission for the Bell X4 is going to be, this one, X-Planes high altitude, to get to an altitude of at least 55 kilometers and come back and live to tell about it. And again, all of this have to be crewed vessels. So this is all in the crewed vessel variety. I am also very, very close to having researched satellite era material science. Will give me lighter materials from which to work with. And right on the heels of that will be researching orbital rocketry. So I also want to get starting on building an orbit-capable rocket. So a lot of stuff going on. Not all of this is going to be happening on this episode, but what we're going to be doing is getting started with closing off the windows we don't need and continuing with this build. So we just got started. We put on the wings. We have our fuel tanks. We have our engine here at the back. Excuse me. The engine is the J57 turbojet, upgraded to the P21 configuration, and fuel tanks and air intakes that spin. I'm not sure if these are overkill or not, but I liked them so much I decided to put them on. And we just got started. We built some wings, got started with some control surfaces. These guys are flaps, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to, I think, reproduce them. Let's put that, well, the snap is on. There we go. And I'm sort of, here, kind of recessing them into the wing a little bit. That's gonna be my plan here. So what am I, oh wait, I don't like these handles. I always get confused by them. So we're gonna make it a little shorter so we can get another one beside the one that's there. And then the idea here is to simply take this and slide it in so it looks like they're coming out of the body of the wing. And they're just colored red for now, only so that I can see them pretty easily. And then I'm going to play around with their dimensions just a little bit. So I can see here they need to be wider at the tip. I want it so, oh, whoa, that's the tip on that. I always get confused which end is where. Wider at the root. Okay. Let's get that move tool back out again. Slide it this way. I want it to sort of look okay beside the other one there. That looks all right. Look at this trailing edge. Oh, I think the issue is, I think I see what the issue is. I think they are, yes. I think it just needs to be down a little bit. To match the other one. More like that. Yep. Okay. Back to this. So the width here, increase that. Oh my gosh, it's hard to see. Maybe if I got in and played with the colors a little bit again. Put it on that tool. Make the surface orange. There we go. I think I got them too wide. I think that's what's going on. Yes. I think they're too wide and a little bit too into the... Here. Do that one. Again, the colors are not permanent. They're here to just help me kind of just see what's what. I just want this line kind of parallel with the wing surface. I think they are a little bit low. I think they will match. Come on. Close that maybe. Ah, shoot. Little Control Z. Nothing a little Control Z won't fix. There we go. That's close enough. They will eventually probably be. So these guys here are meant to be flaps. Actually, now that I'm looking at them. Or not splat. Spoilers. They will raise. Oh, I need two-way symmetry. Shoot. Never had two-way symmetry on when I put these on. Notice it's not one on the other side. Ever so slightly. And then sink it just a bit. Wow, it's really tough to get it exactly where you would like it to be. Just want it to match the other one. Maybe I shouldn't be so picky about it. Alright, we're gonna go with that. Alright, so these guys are flat. And then what I'm gonna do behind that is put, or sorry, these are spoilers. And then behind that I'm gonna put flaps. We have our ailerons for roll here at the other end. So I'm just gonna grab this guy. Put the snap on. And these are going to stay on the controls, the wing surface the way you would think they should. And these are going to be flaps. So we're going to switch it from spoilers to flaps. And then I think I got to get into the action groups. Well, let's do the other one first before I do that. To be honest, they can be sort of like right up. Ah. Well, let's see. Okay, let's control this first. So these are going to be flaps. Yep, that's right. Okay, and on the action groups here, action group 1 is going to increase flap deflection on both of these, and action group 2 is going to decrease flap deflection on both of these. And on the brake action group are the spoilers as well as the brakes. What other brakes are on there? Activate spoiler. Why are there so many? Sorry, I gotta figure this out. Oh, I gotta adjust these guys. Are standard control surfaces, but they're just gonna be roll. I always start them at about 50. And these should not be flaps or spoilers. No. Let's go back to this again. On the brake action group. That should be removed. That's correct. That's correct. That is not correct. That's not correct. Okay. Beautiful. All right, so there we go. Let's play a little bit with. I can see the thickness here just needs to be a little thicker. For whatever reason, let me try just reapplying them. Whoops. It's a little bit more angly on that. Those flaps. Always with these planes, you end up spending quite a lot of time tweaking all this kind of stuff. Okay, that looks better. That looks better. Again, a little thicker. One I think is the tip at that end. Yep, that looks good. And then probably what I'll do is simply slide this so that they're right abutted against each other here at this end, or very close, and a tiny gap between them. There we go. All right, let's do the other one. So the other one, again, does need to be rolled just a little. That looks better. In fact, that looks actually awful good. I think I just need to play with this thickness a little bit. And needless to say, we will test all these control surfaces before this thing ever even thinks about getting off the ground. And back to this one, just this one edge. I just want to make sure I'm on the right one. A little bit of offset at the tip, just to try and make this a little bit more of a parallel line. I think that's pretty good. I think the other one too, probably everything needs to be offset the same amount here. So 30 degrees over to this one. Oh, isn't that it? Oh, that's why it's like that. Okay, this one has been offset. I must have done that just by mistake. Or maybe not. I don't know. Okay, there we go. So again, spoilers, flaps. We'll check to see how these guys look once we put it out there. And these are roll. Okay, and finally, just to kind of close off the wing surfaces here, I'm going to put just some structural bits, a structural bit in here. Little structural bit in there. So we'll start by just simply taking this piece. Just Sticking it there. Making it clearly longer. Move it just a smidge this way. Still on two-way symmetry, I am. That. And then we have to make it longer over here, so it'll ends up matching with the... See, this has to be a little thicker at the tip too. Oh, I'm hitting the wrong one. I have issues with that. There we go. This one. So, a little thinner at the tip? Yep, get that kind of match in there. This side looks pretty darn good. Maybe a little bit with the offset. Might just move it, maybe make it actually a little bit shorter might be the thing to do. A little shorter. Okay, and obviously longer. So width at the root, I think, yeah. So it matches with the other control surface there. In fact, I might end up looking at the wing shape in general here at this point. All right, see, it cleans it up a little bit. Now this guy has to be I have to just disable all the control surfaces. So everything here has got to be a 0. Neither spoilers nor flaps. Nope, so that's good there. Now I'm just looking at the general shape. What I'm thinking about is just making this guy wider at the root. Just trying to get this line to be a little nicer. And then this guy wider at the tip. I think that looks kind of alright. Okay, alright, we need to make a couple more of these. Now, this next one, gonna be here, and it clearly needs to be much shorter. Oh, I gotta put the snap on. That's probably why the... Well, whatever. They look okay. A little thicker at the root. Sorry, I hit the wrong one. So, tuck it in a little. Smidge thicker. And clearly it needs to be shorter here at the tip to match the other one. And shorter at the root. Kind of looking at that line. Okay, offset wise, maybe the tip a little, oh, offset the other way. Like so. Okay. And then we are going to copy that. Put another one over here against the fuselage. Longer. Close that gap. Wider at the root. Quite a bit wider, in fact. And wider at the tip. Thickness looks good. The offset at the one end looks good. Actually, I can see him a little closer. I can see this needs to be shorter. That one needs to be a bit shorter. And if I can do the offset at the root so that, oh, whoa, that's the tip. That way, yep. And just kind of close that gap between it and the fuselage so it kind of merges into the fuselage. There we go. I'm hoping these are very close to what my wings are going to be. Oh, I do want, sorry, I got one more piece to do. I need another aerodynamic part. I always like to finish it off at the end here. So we're going to use procedural wing early. Yep, we're going to put that right on the end. Like so. We're making it... Is it the length? Yeah, the length is going to be very short. The width at the root is going to be very short. The offset needs to be more like so. Oh, I can see now it needs to be wider at the root. Again, a little shorter here. Wow. That was a lot shorter. I just need to reapply it. For whatever reason, it's clipped in. That looks better. And just the overall thickness at the tip needs to come right down. Never bring these down to 0 though. And the length. Whoop, other way. And just kind of finishes that off a little bit. I think that's okay. So what I want to do... save this. I'm just going to simulate it on the runway. We're going to test all of these control surfaces and see how they work. So, simulate. Okay. So, first of all, rolling. So, you can see those deflecting there. Probably could deflect a little more, but they seem to be working right. Okay, we're going to put on the brakes. Hold them. There we go. So there's our spoilers there. Nice. Okay, and again, they're the only ones that move. That's good. And then finally, we're going to look at our flaps, which are, if you press 1, see how they go down? You see them better. Yep. And pressing 2 makes them go back up. I think there's 4 settings for those. If you count the neutral setting as one setting. All right, I think that's pretty good. So that's going to end that simulation. clearly this isn't ready to go anywhere. Revert back to the editor. Alright, now we need to fashion this fella a bit of a tail. I'm a little worried the wings just flat out aren't big enough, to be honest, but we'll see what we get. Because once you're up at that 22-kilometer altitude and going, you know, I can't remember what the contract said. It was in subsonic for sure. Less than 300 meters per second. You know, yeah, you need extra lift. So speaking of lift, this guy's gonna need a tail, and I'm gonna make again monster elevators. That's gonna be the idea. So aerodynamics, and we're gonna go with the not the control surfaces, procedural wing early. These are the subsonic variety, and we'll start to play with the settings on those. It's going to need to be a lot longer. I want this to be pretty big, and I think I'm going to put really huge elevators on this. Why that's, I don't need that. There. So, let me think. Definitely wider the root. Oh, wait, thickness at the root's really what I'm looking at. Nice and thick here at the root. The trailing edge just needs to be flat, like that, because there will be a control surface. For whatever reason, this seems to be hovering, so we'll bring that down. What about wider at the top? I think so. Then just take the offset, that. Okay, we'll do that for now, maybe a little thinner at the top too. All right, that's that. Let's stick a rudder on this thing. Now I'm thinking, let me think. I'm gonna let's put the elevators on first. I want to put the elevators up really high, is what I'm gonna, and actually I'll start by making them fresh. I think that might be the better idea. So, two-way symmetry, and I'm gonna put them up, like that's the idea. I don't know why it should come out a little this way. That will put some sort of spreader. Oh, maybe not, because then we won't have... Oh no, they got to come back. Here, let's start fiddling with their shape. So, trailing edge again is just flat. Careful not to... Once you get bleed through the menus. Not as wide. Same thing at the tip. We'll move them back a little thinner. But definitely longer. Like that. Really big. The idea. Okay, so I'm thinking that's not bad. So I'm thinking this will be the rudder will go. Let's move them up higher. Back, and again I'm gonna have to make them not as wide up there. That. Yeah. Okay, and then there's gonna, like, the elevators, the actual control surfaces on these, I'm gonna make them really big. Again, this is all about just getting as much lift as I can. Let's build the rudder, which will go under there. So I need a control surface. Not the supersonic one. Oh, here we go. That one. I don't know why I am always so challenged when it comes to... Definitely longer. Just above the fuselage, a little longer still. Oh, shoot, I forgot. I gotta sync this in. Oh, shoot. Okay. I probably should do that right now. So it needs to be sure. I forgot that this thing's hovering. Probably a little shorter. There. Let's grab this and just sync that into... There we go. Yeah, a little bit of a gap there. Probably... make these a smidge longer. Pretty good. Okay. And wider. I don't know if that's the root or the... Oh, I'm doing the wrong... Thickness at the tip. There's what I'm looking for. Close that up. At the top, it looks pretty good. Wider at the root for sure. Oh, wait, that's the tip. That's the top. Again, these things end up upside down often. And then there'll be a structural piece there, so that when it flaps back and forth. I think that's good for now. So, this is a rudder. So we get on the standard controls, and this is going to be doing yaw. Yaw. And I think I mentioned that I kind of wanted to make, oops, more deflection on. I don't know why, it just felt like there wasn't a lot of deflection on those, so I'll make those a little bigger. Okay, next we want elevators. So again, control surfaces, and these, like I mentioned, I want big. They go that way. Two-way symmetry. Seems to be better with the snap off, doesn't it, now that I'm looking at it? Yeah. Okay. 100% longer. Pretty good. How about the thickness part? Thickness? No, you can see they need to be. Thickness, I'm gonna guess that this is the root. It is. Now I can see it needs to be up just a little bit. There we go. And on the other end, good as I can tell, I think it's fine. Maybe a little thicker. This one would be the tip. Oh, I'm doing the width. What I want. There. Okay, and we're going to play with the offset a little. So the offset at the root needs to come, oh, this way. Like so, and then the offset at the tip. Probably the same direction. Probably very much the same number, actually, now I'm thinking about it. Negative 9.09, sure. And finally, these need to be big. So what we're going to do, let's just get rid of that, is, or at least I think they're going to need to be big. I'm guessing at all of this. Width at the tip. Yes, we're going to just, like this. See what I mean? Like big, 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 big. And probably even a little width at the root a little bigger too. Now I can see that offset's wrong. Now that rudder underneath looks awful funny. A lot of this looks awful funny. Now that I'm looking at it. Making that rudder bigger. Just so that it... This is more of a just a... Ah, shoot. More of just a aesthetic thing, just to make it in scale with everything else. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what we get. But that's... we'll see. We'll see what we get. Okay, this, standard control surfaces. This is going to be for pitch, obviously. 50% we'll start it off at. Okay, and we need to put some structural bits in there. Actually, maybe just... I might just leave that big gap and just put one here. That's the idea. I'm guessing at which way to move it. There. Kind of work. Okay. Okay, this is width at the root needs to be... Nope, that's the... This one, the... Oh, wait. I'm doing that part. Thickness needs to be thinner at the tip. That's what I'm looking for. And thickness at the root needs to be a little bigger. And then the... And then they need to be a little longer. So at the root, the width needs to be more. Just so it matches with the rudder there. Yeah. That's the idea. And then probably a little thicker at the top part too. Sure. I don't know, I'm less confident about it now than I was a few moments ago. Okay, again, finishing this off, just the top and the bottom with a little piece. Like so. Actually, wait a minute. Why don't I just take the little one I made for over here. Alt key. I was forgetting my keys for the moment. Most basic one. Alt to copy. And you're going to go on top. Yep. I just need to make it longer. No, wider at the... here. That's it. Oh, that might look pretty good, actually, now I'm looking at it. All right, happy with that. And copy you. Two-way symmetry. Width at the root I gotta reduce. I'm okay. Okay. So what? Again, let's just save this. Do another quick just testing of that all the control surfaces are doing what they're supposed to be doing. Okay, so we're looking at the back here. Pitch. So pitching. Does that feel backwards? Wait, pitching up. No, that's right. Pitching down. Might want more action on that than what I'm getting. And then we got yaw. Yeah, I thought I did that, so this should not have that guy there. I didn't disable. But I think that's the only thing I did wrong. So just the yaw, just the rudder down there is going back and forth. All right. Okay, let's end our simulation. So I got to go back to here, and this piece here. Standard control surfaces 0, 0, and 0. So it doesn't move. Okay. All right. Let's see where the mass and the lift are. Oh my God. So we need to bring that lift way back. There are some ways to do that. One is to make these bigger still. Like, in fact, looking at this very roughly, I think that might not be a terrible idea. I could also, of course, move the wings back. I can also look at where the dry center mass is. Ooh, that's not happy either. I would like that dry center of mass to be more on top of where the center of mass is. I can do that by moving fuel tanks. So there's one thing. It's lovely just to have those just simply not move back and forth on you. Now I'm going to move those wings back. I can see that that's going to happen. That'll help to bring the center of mass back. So let's do that. Actually, looking at it too, they're clipped right into where the air intakes are, so that even looks stupid. We're going to pull these all the way back like that. That's getting a little better. A little further still. And I am going to make these elevators bigger. So I'm just going to get onto here. Let's throw these little end pieces away. Or maybe just put them aside for now. Or maybe just stick them on here. Stick them on there for now. And we're just making them longer. And that should, like, bring that back, especially once I make these ones longer. Of course, they're going to clip into each other. Okay, let's move these tanks. And let's move these wings again. They feel awful far back. That, I don't know what it is, but it feels like these just didn't move. Like the lift didn't move when I put those. Okay, they move now. Now let's put them back on here again. Okay, why are they like up? Why? I have mirror symmetry on. Why are they being that way? Like, why? Don't know what my buttons are, so there's... Oh my god, this is being so awkward. I definitely I don't want this kind of thing. There we go. That's definitely what I don't want. Oh, it's going right to mirror symmetry. Oh, you big pain in the butt. Okay, so what I'm going to need to do... Oh, wait, it did it there. Okay. Oh, and now the center of lift moved. See that? So I don't think it was really registering that I made those bigger. That's looking quite a bit better. Okay, so for a rough go right now, I think that's going to be okay. That was weird how, like, the symmetry was wrong, but then as soon as I clicked it on, it went right. Okay, and then we got these little end pieces. Come on. Oh, I see the issue is because, yeah, I need to just slide them back now. There we go. Okay. Alright, I'm going to live with that for now. I can see here that the lift is going to... I'm going to have to do some adjustment, but I still got to put things like landing gear and all that kind of stuff. I could also just simply make these tanks longer. A bigger... Ugh, it just feels... I don't know. We'll go with it. We'll go with it. Let's turn off RCS. Okay. Build aid. Alright, this is going to need landing gear. Now, how much... Yeah. This is a pretty heavy plane, isn't it? Over 6.5 tons. Question is, do I want to go into these bigger landing gear? Probably. Oh, I know what I want to do. Because, here, let's stick these on, but because these... Oh my gosh, they feel so... Oh no, but these tweak. These will tweak down in size. Like they're scalable, is the word I'm using. But I think they look sort of funky. I might move the wings downwards. What I'm thinking about, I am going to do this, is... First of all, I can see here, these need to be bigger, thicker. Looks funny underneath. Live with it. Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put on here some cylinders. And these on the real plane would be fuel tanks. And it might even be droppable fuel tanks. But I'm thinking of just putting a couple of just cylinders on here, mostly just for looks, and to mount the landing gear to. That's what I'm thinking about. Though I'm now looking... Ooh, they got to be way out here. I'd rather have them closer. Let's see what I can do. So we'll get into the structure. But I don't think I need the extra fuel, I guess is what I'm getting at. Because if I open up the McJeb Delta V tool, I got enough fuel for 45 minutes of flight. And this utilization is even turned down a lot. So if I want more fuel, I simply turn that up. But what I'm going to do is just take this, turn it to a hollow cylinder, and I don't know, make them much, much narrower. No, not that small. Maybe about there. Make the, that's the outer, this up to, really won't let you get, okay, so we got like, this isn't a lot of weight, like this is, oh my gosh, we're in grams, 4.8 kilograms, and make it a little longer, and they'll be mounted underneath. That's gonna be the whole plan source here, and then I'm gonna get some more of these. So let's just copy this one, put it on the end, and make it also, this time I'm going to make it a, oh wait a second, there is no smooth cone hollow, so I'm going to get probably those procedural nose cones. How big did I make this? Outer is 600 millimeters. What kind of shapes do we got? Round 1, round 2, round... Oh, I kind of like the kind of bullet shape there. That's round 1, but what I liked was this kind of bullet, and then shorter. I don't know why the whole plane's moving there. Again, 1.8 kilograms there. Flip it around on there, and again, this is completely just an aesthetic choice. Slide them underneath, but and also to mount the maybe make this a little shorter, but to mount the landing gear too, something for the landing gear to retract into, because the wings are so, you know, length. Closer this way. That's all I'm thinking about. Maybe a little in, so they're just at the gap between those two. Alright, landing gear. I'm thinking the big ones, like these doubled. They're the wrong way around. In a minute if I get them on. There. 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 Tweak down the scale. Oh, is that as small as they go? funky. That's as small as they go. Okay. I guess they don't look so bad. I do have these smaller ones that are just the single landing gear. And I also have the stock ones there too. These guys. I could use these too. That are not tweakable. But I love the way these ones retract. Like, they look so good. Here, I can show it to you, I think. Toggle gear. Like, I just... They look so good the way they go in there. Okay. So we'll do that. I think we'll do that. And we want probably just a singleton up here at the front. Oh, actually, this guy, hang on a second here. Where is this mass? It's there. These are like another... Ooh. Can I get them far enough back that it won't fall backwards? That is the question. Because if I can't, like, there's two ways to do this. One is to put these so they're a little bit behind the center of mass, so the plane will fall forward, and then you put a landing gear here. Or you put them a little bit ahead of the landing. I think I might be better off the other way. And then put a one at the back. So it's a tail dragger. Like so. Again, this does tweak down. I can make, and it's like even got a bar on it, so you can really tweak this. That's kind of the idea. Let's play there, here. And you do want it pitched up a little bit on the runway. But probably not as much as that. But this can be, this is why this infinite tweak is just awesome. Right? This infinite scaling. Well, that's like obviously way too big. You want it to kind of just sit. So it's pitched up just a little bit. I might need to put this at the front now that I'm looking at it. I don't know if this is going to work or not. And I also got to think about where the dry... What does the dry mass do again? It tends to move backwards. That's actually okay. Where's the lift? Okay, there's that. And the lift. Lift needs to be a little more forward. Now I can move this whole tail forward. That'll probably help. A little bit, yeah. And then I can move this a little forward. That's not entirely terrible. I still don't like how far apart the dry and the wet centers of masses are. Just don't want them moving that much. Oh, I'm moving. Oh no, I am moving the wings. Okay. Plane might be entirely too long, too. That's the other thing. Alright. Let's turn this off. I also have, just for shites and giggles, oh, we should disable the steering probably on these, right? Where? There should be a lock steering or something like that. Motor lock, invert motor... There's so many, like, gear ratio, forget, like, I guess if you make it more torquey or less torquey. I'm not concerned about that. Why am I having trouble finding? Maybe these don't steer. Wheel group, spring, doot, wheel angle, strut, dump, and invert steering lock. That's what I was looking for. Oh my gosh. This I might need to invert the steering on it because it's at the back. We'll see. All right, and just for giggles, we'll open up the Ferram Aerospace stability derivatives thing. Okay, not that one. This one. Now, this guy's plan is to get to about a 22-kilometer altitude, fly at maybe 0.8, Mach 0.8, something like that. Oh, there's a little bit of red here. What's this one? Change in pitch up angular acceleration with respect to Z direction velocity should be negative. So what is that telling me? That is pitch up angular acceleration. It wants to accelerate upwards if the Z velocity is positive. Okay, so it has a tendency to want to pitch up if it's going up. I don't know. What's this one? Change in roll right angular acceleration with respect to slow. My fucking Christ. I don't know. Okay, we also, of course, will have to be getting off the ground, like, you know, 4 kilometers, maybe going like Mach 0.3 or something. Like, this thing's gonna have to, this is better. Okay, well, you know what? Let's just see how she does. Let's just see how she does. So, I'm going to save this, and we're going to give her its first test flight, and we're going to see what happens. All right, so it is not falling forward on the runway, so past test 1. I want to take a look at the steering here at the back. So I'm turning to the right and it's steering that way. That makes some sense. I guess there's nothing to it but to just do it. Nothing to it but to just do it. So let's take a look at the contract here. Crewed missions. It is Stratospheric Research is the one we're interested in. So we got to get to 22 kilometers in altitude. So let's put, no, not the speed control, silly Billy, but the altitude at 22, 100. Speed control has to be below 300 meters per second. I think I remember seeing that. It's probably green because it is now, yeah. So let's top this out at, say, 280 meters per second, but we won't engage that yet. We'll start off heading eastward for sure. Pitch angle, oh, I don't know. Let's just go with 15 degrees for now. Let's take a look at our craft settings. What's the jet one? I'm fine with that. Okay. I guess there's nothing to it, just to see what happens. So, take that off. Do all those, yeah, and that's working. Okay, and Z, and engage. Engage. So rule 1 is if this thing can actually even fly, I'm going to be a static. Like if it's even controllable. Okay, we're getting some speed up. Let's get that nose up. Okay, whoa, whoa, whoa. Gear. Okay, let's engage the cruise flight controller. Oh my gosh. I don't have speed. Wait. Why? Vertical motion. Climb. Damn you. Alright. I can see here there's some imbalance. This is the, see how it's pitching down when it's actually climbing? That's probably has a lot to do with that acceleration vector that we saw about, so maybe we'll try and fix that. But yeah, it's climbing but pitching down. So it wants to actually flip like keep climbing up over backwards is how I would interpret that. So I need to, what is that? That's probably the lift is just too far forward. Maybe if we move the lift backwards a little bit, that might address that. So that's number one. Number one. So just kind of watching these as this thing flies, to me, tells me more than anything. Okay, it's losing speed, which I don't... Well, actually, it's only supposed to get to... let's put it at 10 degrees. We want to get to 22 kilometers and be less than... Let's put on the speed control. Oh, don't do this bursty stuff. Okay, let's take off the speed control and just get up there. Maybe 12-degree climb rate. A moderate speed just with pitch. That feels all right. Holding at 286 meters per second. Again, I think the lift is too far forward is what this is telling me. That's what that's telling me. So move the lift a little bit further back still, which really doesn't surprise me. Probably these again should be just bigger. I'm just looking at this. I think they should be bigger. These elevators, or the on the tail there. I think these should be really, almost like second wings. I think they should be. So we'll try that. Okay, we're losing a little bit of speed, but that's okay. I don't mind. Okay, let's add some time warp to this equation. And 22 kilometers is the goal. I also got to watch my fuel. Now I do have 45 minutes of fuel, which feels like a lot, but I do know that this thing can might before as I approach altitude, and hopefully I can even get to altitude. Let's decrease our climb rate here a little bit. If I can get to altitude, I'm hoping. I'm thinking of turning around would probably be a good idea. Heading back towards the KSC. Don't let yourself get too far away. I don't think it looks terrible. But I'm looking at this. The whole thing might just need more lift. Wider wings here at the back. And definitely bigger elevators on the tail is what I'm thinking. Well, speed is decreasing again. Let's put this at 5 degrees. I don't want that speed to get too low. Maybe 7 degrees. I'll just keep this speed around where it is. I think is good. We are at 17.5 kilometers, so that is, I don't think, discouraging. Okay, we're losing speed again, so let's get this down to 5 degrees. Okay, 18.5 kilometers. I've used up maybe 20% of the fuel. Speed is starting to decrease. Maybe 3 degrees is like barely climbing now, isn't it? Barely climbing. Oh, I'm thinking my air intakes are probably doing okay, aren't they? I don't know how to tell. I mean, that's another option. I did go with really big air intakes, and the only reason I picked them is because they spin, and I thought that looked cool. But maybe a much better idea would have been smaller air intakes. I don't know. Let's see, how are we doing here? Speed is starting to drop again. I don't like that. We need to get... Okay, let's maybe level off a little bit. Can I just put the rate of climb at 0? Will that be okay? Just really pick up some speed. Maybe kind of nurse it up. I'm just putting the rate of climb at 0, which clearly means it won't be getting to altitude. But I want to get speed up. I want to keep it below 300 meters per second, like the contract says, but just get speed up. And just see if I can nurse it up to 22. Speed seems to be capping out, getting close to being capped out anyway. I'm not sure I can even get to 300 meters per second now that I'm looking at this. Okay, let's put this back to climbing up at 2 degrees. And we are 168 kilometers away from the KSC, which obviously is not super duper. Okay, there's 21. What I'm thinking, I'll put this back to 0. You know what I am thinking? I'm thinking of getting this back. Okay. Let's back to 0. And let's turn around. See how that works. Yeah, look how much the pitch is pitching down. I mean, that's more drag too, isn't it? When it's pitching down like that. Which, of course, is going to slow it down. I think I need to fix some things. Yeah, let's fix some things. So I need to bring the center of lift back. So let's concentrate on that. Bringing the center of lift back. So let's revert. Oh, here, take the time warp off. Revert to anywhere. Okay, so center of lift needs to come backwards. Let me look at those air intakes again. Again, this, what did I do? This is the XM600, this one, and it weighs 11 kilograms. This one, oh wait. Oh no, it's the same. This one's 10.7 kilos. So barely any difference in mass, so I'm not really sure if I'm sacrificing too much. Okay, center of lift, center mass, dry center mass. So we want this center of lift further back, and I do still think the best plan for that is just great big air intakes. Or not, what am I talking about? Making these just bigger. So I'm just going to increase the length again. Really big. There we go. And then these guys. It's really big to match. Oh, I just did length, right? Yeah, okay. So let's just grab them, snap this off, two-way symmetry. Whatever reason, it seems to like to do that, and then... So they're a little too long. What did I just do? Silly. There we go. Let's try that. A little too short. Or just make these ones longer. Just to match. You can see the offsets are wrong. Offset at the root should come in, like the other way. Yep. Offset at the tip. Oh, see, and that did bring the that brought that lift back. Now, if anything, the lift might be a little too far back. Maybe? I'm going to keep it like that. What does Mr. Ferram have to say about life? What does Mr. Ferram have to say? Again, 28 kilometers, or 22 kilometers, at about 0.8. Ah, let's look at that, all green. All green, mofo. 4 kilometers, maybe like 0.3. It gets the speed pretty quick. How about 0.5? Okay. We might have something. Let's take the lift off. I can see the ball there for the, but I'm not going to mess with it. Okay. I'm wondering if that little change has made a big difference. I don't know. Oh, I want to put this little end piece back on again. Oops. Big, ginormous elevators. Is it still gonna sit on the run? Oh yeah, because I actually brought the mast back. I think that's gonna sit okay. Oh, I think landing this thing is gonna be a treat, but you know, one thing at a time. Let's toggle the flag here because it bugs me. Oh, there we go. We'll put decals and stuff on that later. Okay, let's save this. Let's give her another go. Okay, seems to be sitting okay on the runway still. Cruise flight controller, heading of 90 degrees, vertical motion, altitude 22,100, speed control 280, though that never entered into it last time. That is all happy, I think. And a climb rate of 14 degrees for now. Okay. Let's throttle up and go. Oh, that's something I should do. I should get in the settings and set the default throttle to be at full at the beginning. That saves me all kinds of issues with McJeb too. It's not a bad idea. I feel like I'm... Is there a lot of smoke coming off those tires? Is that just me? I don't know. I guess not. Okay. Let's pick up. Okay, gear. And engage the cruise control. Still pitching down a little bit here. See that? Same thing. Interesting. Maybe what I didn't address that issue. I don't know. Okay, time warping. And we'll get out that contract again. Stratospheric Research. Yeah, still that pitch down. So again, to me, that says bring the lift still further back. Now I could, like as a simple connect, is simply make this elevator wider, especially here at the tail end of it, the back end of it. I feel like the wings should be bigger too, but we'll go with what we got so far. I also have to think about mass and stuff, right? Like as you know, you are increasing the mass. Okay, let's reduce our climb rate here. I want to keep that speed. relatively okay, maybe 10 degrees. Alright, what are we at? 12.5 kilometers. Again, the target is 22. 22 kilometers, reducing this to 8 degrees climb rate. Again, I want to keep the speed up. I am quite nervous about landing this. It's, could prove interesting. Again, speed is decreasing. Let's go to 6 degrees climb rate. Increasing again. 16 kilometers now. 5 degrees climb rate. Might put less fuel on it. You know what? Like honestly, I've again used up maybe about 20% of my fuel, and just putting in less fuel. Remember, it just has to fly for 5 minutes. That might not be a bad idea, and just might be a good way to just cheaply reduce the mass. And reducing mass, I think, is a good idea. Again, we are losing speed. 3 degree climb rate. Okay, just crossed 19 kilometers. Let's go to 2 degree climb rate. I want to keep that speed. I would love to see that speed increasing. Oh, let's set a waypoint 2. There we go. 128 kilometers from the KSC. 175 meters per second, closing in on 20 kilometers. And flying for 9 minutes. There is 20 kilometers. Let's reduce this to a 0 climb rate. Let's go turn around. Big sweeping turn on time warp. Don't let that bother you. Okay, let it build up some speed again, and then we'll try to see if we can nurse it up. Should I be looking at, like, what's F11? No, that's the there, 12. Not big drag numbers, is there? No. Big lift. You can see where the lift is all coming from. Of course, that makes sense. You want lift, don't you? Take that off. 280. Let's start climbing again. So 2. I think it's going a little faster than it did last time. Isn't pitching as down. I still think I should bring the lift back. Might just slide the wings back just a little bit. Not mess around with any of this right now. Just slide the wings a little bit back. That is 20.5 kilometers. Oh, we have to be able to get this up. We have to be able to do this. Okay. We are at 21 kilometers. I'm just going to level off a little bit. Build up a little bit more speed and try and see if we can do a final push to 22 kilometers. It's definitely going faster than it was before. Definitely going faster. Just with those lift changes. Okay, let's try this. So 2 degrees climb rate. I think reducing fuel by a lot is a good idea. We're maybe third of the way through the fuel we have aboard. I don't need that much. Okay, 21.5. Where it's 22.1 kilometers that I actually have it set for. And we're at 21.8. Whoa, whoa, I think it's 22, 22.1. We're going to set the speed control to 280. I don't even know if it'll get to that, but we are at altitude. We are traveling at less than 300 meters per second. And we are in a level flight, and the goal is to do this for 5 minutes, so I see no reason why it can't do that. But I'd be thinking I just want to slide these wings back just a little bit. Oh, we're starting to get that. That's okay. You can be silly like that. It's just feathering the afterburner to keep the speed from getting over 280. I'm debating. I think I am. I'm going to end the simulation. I'm going to move those wings just back a little bit, and we're going to put in less fuel. So let's do one thing at a time. Number one, less fuel. So we have the utilization at 32%. Let's change it to 20%. Got 18%. I didn't even get close to using up half the fuel. Okay. That may have moved. Sorry, where the dry center of mass versus the wet center of mass is. Hopefully, maybe not too much. There. Now, I think it's good that way. Okay, we have the lift, we have the center of mass, and I want that lift a little bit further back. That's what that thing is telling, and I'm just going to do this with nothing fancy, just simply moving this back. Just a little bit, there. I'm going to try and fly this guy. So we move the lift a little bit back. Reduce the amount of fuel. Like everything else, I'm going to stay exactly the same. Was there something else I want? I don't think there was something else I wanted to change. So save this, simulate, and this time we're going for the mission. Okay, we're going to go for the mission, and we're going to try and land this, which is honestly even more scary. Let's go with 10 degrees period rather than what I was doing before. Speed control set. Bump. Yes. Okay. Z and go. So much smoke, and I don't know, like the wheels are turning, right? Yeah, they are. Okay. Takes a little bit to get going. A lot of plane to move. Okay, and then I start to pitch up. There we go. Here. Gaze cruise flight controller. Okay, set a waypoint. Get our contract out. And the main purpose of this plane is not only to do this contract, but honestly to give my engineers something to do before I'm ready to start building some rockets. Okay. Okay. Time warp. And really watch this speed. Speed is starting to drop, so we're going to reduce our rate of climb to 8 degrees. Actually, it can drop. It's just below 300. I can let it drop a little bit more than that. When I get at altitude, I do want to be at 280. Still got that thing with the pitch. See that? I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't worry about it, or maybe I'm just interpreting that completely wrong, that it's pitching down. I don't know. So maybe I should just stop fiddling. And just be happy with what I got. Is it just me? Yeah, it is. It's on a bit of a jaunty slant. A little bit of a roll. Not quite sure why. Anyways, how's our speed? Speed's starting to drop a little bit, but I'm going to let it drop below 280. And then I'll reduce my climb rate a little bit more. So a lot... Oh, wow. We've already used up more than half our fuel. I might have made a mistake taking out so much. I might have made a mistake. We'll see. We'll see. I guess it's better to air that way, and then you can put in a little bit more. But I'm looking and I'm thinking, yeah, I think I might have just put in a little bit too little fuel. And again, maybe it didn't start. It should have started at 100. I don't know. No, because it doesn't seem to be decreasing that quickly. I didn't just turn the fuel number down, did I? I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. What are we at? We're losing speed a little bit. Let's try 5 degrees. 17.5 kilometers on the altitude. Okay, going to 4 degrees climb rate. To a 3-degree climb rate and 19.5 kilometers in altitude. Just over 20 kilometers in altitude, and I think last time what I did, I don't know, let's just go to a 2-degree climb rate. Last time I leveled off for a little bit, but let's see if I don't have to do that. Keep that speed up. Speed's still just below 280, which I like. We're closing in. Still increasing. We're closing in on... I think it's better. I think, again, I got more speed at this altitude. 21 kilometers. We're still climbing at a 2-degree climb angle. Okay. Let's turn this puppy around before we get to our actual... Again, this is at 3 times warp, so that's why this all looks so violent. Okay, we lost a lot of speed there, so let's level off a little bit. We're almost at 22 kilometers, but let's just level off a bit, and then we'll push it up. Okay, 2 degrees on the climb. Let's get above 22. I think it got up to altitude easier this time. There we go. We are at altitude. Putting on the speed control. Now we got to do this for 5 minutes. It's going to start again feathering that afterburner. And this time we're going to complete the contract, and then I'm going to attempt to land. So we got to go for 5 minutes. Actually, we're going to be well short of the runway. Our ETA at the runway at this speed is just over 8 minutes, and we only got about 3 minutes left on this mission. So like for maintaining this speed. So I was thinking I was going to turn around, go fly over, and then turn around again, but I'm thinking now I might just go straight for the runway. Okay, 2 minutes left on the contract. Or maybe that won't be a good idea. I don't know. I think I'm okay now for fuel, too. And we're going to be starting our descent. That does not, very soon, that doesn't use a lot of fuel. Best thing I might have done is just simply taken the fuel out. That might have been why I'm going faster now. Just lost weight. Okay, 25 seconds. Let's take the time warp off. What are we? Our angle to the runway is 13 degrees. There, okay. Gonna turn speed control to 120. Gonna change our target altitude to 1,000. We're gonna do our rate of climb at 20 degrees. And we're gonna deploy some flaps. You can see the spoilers have already gone up because the brakes went on. And maybe 15 degrees might be a better 16 degrees for our rate dropping here. There we go. We're slowing down. Actually, let's take those flaps off. I don't think I need them. And I'm going to put this at 300, in fact, for the altitude. No, a little bit of flaps. Let's slow down. I was slowing down a little bit too quickly, but now I'm slowing down. Okay, there we go. What did I set the speed at? 120? Yeah, seems reasonable, I guess. You know what? Just take the speed control right off. Where are we going? Yeah. No, maybe. I don't know. No, let's just keep it the way we're doing here. Less flaps. We're slowing down very quickly now. Flap. So I'm just controlling speed with the flap deployment. I want to keep it above what I set here at that 120. Let's set this for like actually even lower. Let's shoot. Because it was flying at like, let's go 85. More flaps. I don't want to be going too fast coming into the runway. Angle to the runway is about 13 degrees. We are descending at about an angle of 16 degrees. Speed is decreasing quickly. I have no idea how this is going to behave once we're down. I can't say I'm not worried. Okay. Again, coming through some clouds here. About 13 degrees to the runway. Still descending at 16 degrees. Slowing down a little bit too much, I think. I'm just going to keep this under 100. So all I'm doing is just, if I go to full flaps, it slows down. And then if I step it back just one level, it starts to speed up again. So I'm just kind of fiddling with the flaps to control the speed. Now the pitch is nice and level. I don't know. I think I'm going to stop screwing around with where the lift and stuff is. I think the fuel level is perfect. I'm not going to worry about it anymore. I'm keeping it above this 85 kilometers per hour or meters per second speed limit that I set because I just don't want this engine to come back on. Okay, angle of the runway is 12. 16. Whoa, 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 whoa. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. That's what I don't want you to do. What do you think, Frederic? Are you scared? Well, this is simulation mode, so there's no reason to be scared. Frederic is in a simulator. In a box. Oh, we are. There we go. You know, in a box in the astronaut complex. Holy nice, it's steady at 93.5 meters per second. I'm getting some fluttering. Oh, it's fluttering the brakes. It's doing that. That's interesting. I'm not worried about that. Oh, I am at full flaps now. Full flaps, and we are increasing speed. Okay. Actually holding it pretty steady. Alright, I'm coming off the time warp because we will be leveling off pretty soon. Boy, this thing feels like it's going so slow compared to my other planes that I've come in with, but I think that's the idea, right? Okay, let's bring off the flaps a bit. Full time warp off. A little more flap. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take off the speed control. Just cut throttle. And I'll be in control of the throttle. Okay, we are again at full flaps, but we will be... Oh, I know why. Because, yeah, the brakes, dummy. The flaps. Brakes, 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 brakes. That's why. Okay, let's take the brakes off. Just control this with flaps and brakes. Okay, we are leveling off, so we'll take off the flaps. Leveling off, going to standard fly-by-wire. A little bit of throttle here. Just going to try and line this up a little bit better with the runway. I'm actually putting on cap lock like people tell me to. Now it steers so slowly. I know it's more realistic, but if you're used to it the other way... Okay, gear. And now I'm getting to the part where I'm a little bit nervous. Now screw it, cap lock back on. Off. Actually, lots of people tell me you get a joystick. It's like, I plan on being done with planes very soon. I know I've been doing a lot of planes of late. But I would prefer to be done with planes. Okay, we are getting close. Well, it does want to pitch up. I can feel, now that I've got my own, you know, controller going, like, you know, now that I'm the one in control, I can really feel that it wants to pitch up. It wants to. Okay, here we go. We're coming down for a landing. Now, I think I just gotta, with these types of planes, I think I gotta land. Okay, flap, 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 flaps. Get down, get down, get down. Come on, come on, get down. It just wants to keep gliding. Oh my God. Okay, just wait, just wait. Bail, 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 bail. Throttle. That was me. Okay, this thing glides. Oh boy. I guess it shouldn't be surprising, but like I was like going pretty slow and it was just not wanting to come down. It wanted to keep going up. So we're gonna try that again. Cut throttle here. Okay, where are we? A little further, a little more throttle. Turn it around. Man, those giant elevators, boy. Okay, cut, 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 pitch up, pitch up. Whoa, 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 whoa. Come back, 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 come back. Come back, come back. Okay. Oh my gosh. She's sloppy. She's sloppy. Okay, here we go. Okay, get. Okay, brakes on. Get those flaps deployed. Get down. There we go. Whoa, 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 whoa. Really wants to pitch forward when I brake. It's got to be braking very cautiously. I guess that's not surprising, really, but when you brake, like it just wants to fall forward. I think it's okay. There we go. All right, well, it's down. And the contract is completed, except it's not going to stay completed, of course. I'm calling that a success. I really am. So let's revert back to the editor. What time we got on the... Oh my gosh, we are closing in. So we'll do a little bit of painting. I think the fuel levels were fine. So I think I'm just going to kind of go with this. Now, what is going to be the motif? Let's start by getting some paint going. Now, I had the original. Let's open up the coloring GUI. When I did this before, it was just like gray. I just painted it gray. Now, one of the things is I do have this that I don't think I can't paint these. So I want a color that's going to not look... I don't think I'm going to go for that stock white color all the way through. I think that looks so dull. But everything else I think I can paint. Maybe I can't paint the engine, I guess. But let's play with colors that might look good. I mean, go with all... Now, there is... dark gray, that's no. Light gray, beige. Beige always looks like crap. Stock dark gray. Let's get into these metallic ones. Now I could go just like a black, like a stealth plane, but I don't like the white at the front with the black. So go a little different. And we got these kind of, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, this is like the Donald Trump's plane, right? All gold. There is just painting it white. White metallic. Yeah. Black metallic. Atlas 5 red. Centaur white. Centaur beige, and then blue. Oh, what to do, what to do, what to do, what to do. I don't want it to be, I don't know, well, the steel's not terrible, is it? Steel is not terrible. I think it might be a better choice than most of these. Platinum's pretty shiny. I could go just black. Let's go steel. Let's just do everything in steel. That steel color. I think it looks okay with the white in front. Actually, in fact, I got an idea. If I start playing with the... I got other textures I can slide on this. Yes, I do. Something where the white can balance a little stripey. Get some little stripey action happening. That's loud. Honestly, that is not... I kind of like it. Like, just to do that, and then do the main body in that steel. And then this color for the secondary color. Which is this. But here it's like white, but I think it's kind of like the stock white, I think is what that is. Find it. Stock white. Oh, that's a different color again. Oh, okay. Let's go with that being steel. And then there's a tertiary color that is stock white. Okay, that's a little bit dark tail. Or is it just white? Stock light gray? No, that's definitely not it. White paint? No, white is really white. Must be stock white. Let's go with stock white, like that. So that's going to be kind of our motif. The steel with stock white highlight. So this is just going to be flat out steel. And same with our cockpit. Except I'm going to take these secondary colors, which here are kind of this off-white color, and I'm going to go with the stock white. Or that off... Ooh, that makes... No. Those should be black. Those should definitely be black. But the tertiary color... That's what I'm thinking about. Be bold. Be bold. Okay. Open the coloring GUI here. We are going with the, again, steel. No, you know what? Because I don't think I can do anything with the engine, so we'll keep that kind of color there on the engine. Okay, let's get into the wings. This here is just going to be steel. All of it. There. Oh, steel. There we go. I don't think there's anything I can do with the landing gear. I think they're a set color. Okay, what I could do with these, given how much this thing wanted to flip over, is probably see if I can calm down the braking a little bit. Because it sure did want to fall forward when I was braking. So steering is locked on that. Brake limit is 100%. Do I just turn that down? That looks like my thing to do. So let's turn that down 34%. I mean, it lands pretty slowly anyway. Okay, wings. We're going to open the coloring GUI on those. Again, the main surface is going to be that steel, but there is a leading edge, and we'll make that the stock white. Boy, it's gonna be a bold statement on you, that's for sure. Let's go with the stock white here. All the way down. Okay. And this control surface is not a control surface at all. So steel, steel, steel. Okay. And this one, same thing. Steel, steel, and steel. And for the ones that actually move, I might... These ones already got some funky colors going on with those. Let's turn the frame to that stock white. And let's turn everything else to, again, that steel. And I'm debating... Interesting. There is a... Oh, it's just the way the light's playing on it. Yeah, I think I can live with that. Same with this one. The surface is the steel. The frame is white. And then the edge is steel. And I'm going to do that with all these control surfaces. She's bold. Maybe not this end. Maybe leave those. Yeah, I don't want to get it to be too busy. Says the fashion guru here. So we'll do the ailerons at the end to just be steel all around it, and don't miss that control surface, which should also be just steel. Just steel. Wait a minute, that doesn't... No, I think it's right. Is it just the way the... No, I didn't hit it right. I don't know what I did. There we go. Steel. I think I was on the wrong piece. Okay, so there's the wings. No, this is not right here. I can see that. I must have, yeah, that is black steel. There we go. All right, and tail. Interesting how the white doesn't look very white there. Open the coloring GUI. Leading edge is the stock white. Just doesn't look very white. I'll buy it. Okay. That's maybe just the lighting in here. I don't know. This is just going to be stock white all the way down. There's some sort of funky... Oh well, I will go with it. And this control surface is just going to be... I think I'm just going to make it all steel. Okay, and then this control surface... Steel... 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 And then a leading edge again, stock white. Yeah, but why is that? Again, it must be just the lighting and the way it works. And then this... Sorry, that was the structural bit. This is the control surface. Steel... Steel... And stock white for the edges. Oh! No, the frame is stock white. The edge is steel. There we go. That's kind of what I was shooting for. Alright, close that. We still gotta decal it. It might feel, well, it might be a smidge busy, but you know what? Maybe take this. Take that white off the frame. Steel. Steel. There. A little less busy now, I think. So, yeah. I mean, it's getting there. It's getting there. But I'm looking at the time and where I'm at, and I'm thinking I still got to put some decals on this thing, but I think I got something that's capable of doing that contract, and that's really all I'm shooting for, as well as giving my engineers something to do. We also still have, as has been happening the last couple of episodes, my jet plane is being recovered by my engineers, and we got to see if it can get up to 700 meters per second. Also, the X4 is being built. It's very close to doing its inaugural flight, trying to go for about 60 kilometers in altitude. And finally, gonna get some materials unlocked and try and start working towards building an orbital rocket. But all of that is going to have to be for a future episode or episodes. In the meantime, I'm gonna thank you for watching and hope to see you again for the next one.